Hi YouTube, this is Kennan. Today we'll discuss about how coffee supply chain work in Ethiopia. I'm sure it's similar in other countries as well. There might be a bit different on policies and how the supply chain work. So pretty much discussing starting from farm to the cup you drink every morning. And I'm also involved as a business throughout the supply chain. We own a farm in our company, and we also have cafe. So we're involved from farming to having coffee on the cup on the table at the cafe. So I'll walk you through that today. Get ready. When we talk about the supply chain, we talk about the players. So the players are farmer, producer, exporter, importer, roaster, and cafe owner. These are the players to get your coffee from farm to cup. So let's start with the farmer. Let's say we have a farmer called Bakala. Bakala might have a farm size of 1 hectare or less, which is the majority farmers in Ethiopia. So most of the time, these farmers pick their coffee in the morning, and they might pick it every other week, every week throughout the harvest. So the harvesting time in Ethiopia starts from October to January most of the time. Some places might go up to February. They take, let's say the first day, they might collect 10 kilos and take it to the producer. So washing station is a place that coffee gets processed from cherry to a parchment. These farmers takes the 10 kilos to the producer, so the second player. So the producer takes this coffee, process the coffee into different processing method, which we'll discuss in depth in other videos. After the producers takes the coffee, have a choice to do washed, natural, or honey or anaerobic, which are this coffee processing. Let's say today this coffee is going into washed bucket. So the farmers deliver to the producer, receive the money, go back home, and the producer takes that coffee into washed. So they'll pop the coffee, ferment the coffee, and wash the coffee, which you see on the video, and dry the coffee for a week. So when it's other process, it could take up to 2 to 3 weeks, like natural. So after that, there are farmers like Bakala that brought, they might bring to one station, would say 100 to 400 farmers to one station that are involved. The producer collects these coffees and take these coffees into a market of exporter. So exporters also, they're a biggest player in the industry. So they could also work with one or multiple producers. So the producer takes this coffee and deliver to exporter in a different form. So the trading forms are many. So there's the auction trading, ECX, Ethiopian Coffee Commodity Exchange. Producer can dump the coffee into the exchange, and whoever pays more for the coffee can take it, or can directly have an agreement which is called vertical integration with the exporter, the producer and the exporter. They can deliver to the exporter. And the other way is the producer being exporter themselves, like our company. The ball is on the exporter now, so they take the coffee. Most of the time in Ethiopia, this exportable coffee is processed further in Addis. So it would come from different part of the country, come to the capital. It comes in a parchment form. So there's shell on the top of the coffee. So they'll process that coffee into green bean, clean the coffee if there's any not clean beans, then pack the coffee, label the coffee, which country is going. Then they do also the quality control of the coffee to make sure that they deliver the right quality to their buyer. So most of the time, exporter take their coffee and sell it to their international buyers. Most of the time, it's importers. So let's talk about importers. Importers take their coffee from exporter, and they would be delivering to roasters. So most of the time, their big role is involve all logistics, financing, and quality control in the coffee as well. And they built most of the time strong relationship with the people, with the exporters importer in different countries. So after they have their coffee from one country to other, from producing country, so most of the time importers play a big role on a consuming country. So they import the coffee into the country and distribute to roasters. Let's say importer Y or X have taken one container coffee, which is 320 bags or 19,200 kilograms. Let's say 10 roasters bought the coffee, so they can save money on the logistic, they can facilitate their finance. So that's the big role of coffee importers. After importers takes the coffee, they start selling and distributing to the roasters. So now we chat about the roasters. Roasters, most of the time, they buy from importers, they buy their coffee and roast their coffee. And most of the roasters have cafe. Sometimes they might supply to cafe, or they might do both. So they can roast the coffee, deliver to cafe or their own cafe. After that, the cafes, grind the coffee, serve it to you as espresso, as a filter, as a milk-based, all these things. And when you drink Ethiopian coffee or consume now, you kind of have an understanding of all this supply chain. So coffee goes through a lot of labor and a lot of hard work to be on the table. So I just wanted to give a picture of that. And of course, there is a lot of exceptions. There are farmers export straight to a roaster. There are producers being exporters. So there is a lot of crossing between the supply chain, but the majority of coffee passed through this. I hope you had a basic understanding of how Ethiopian supply chain works. Thank you. This is Kennan. Look out for more videos. Have a great week.